Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bitter Rivals podcast powered by the Game Entertainment Media. I am your host, Gaetano Gallo, joined as always by my co-host, Avery Roush. We're not gonna mess around here today. The Leafs got a big win. Avery wants to talk about it. So Avery, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Gaetano. As you know, I normally open the show, but I think that it was only fair to let Gaetano get some words in before I go off here, because I think we know I am about to go off. So, John Tavares scores the game-winning goal in overtime off of a wonderful, wonderful play by Matthew Knies behind the net. 2-1 game. Austin Matthews was the other goal scorer in the second period. Stamkos for the Lightning in the third. Every Leaf fan was thinking the exact same thing. I'm not talking after the win. I'm talking in overtime. Not again. Let's start there. It was the feelings of not again. Please, Lord, don't let this happen to us again. Like, that's it. I think that's where we're all collectively at. Like, my heart rate must have been like $150, dude. Not even kidding. It was just, and then when the captain, and I called it, you saw in the group chat, I called it at 9:18, I believe it was.
I can confirm that I did see it. Yes, he did call.
Yes, I said I got the captain. And what does he do? New father, by the way, of a baby girl. Congratulations, John Tavares. And that might have not even been the best thing that's happened to him this week. And that is crazy, because he scored one of the most important goals, the most important goal in modern Leafs history, to be honest. Salary cap era, most important goal ever. I think we can agree on that. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I don't unless you're gonna maybe say Matthews 60, but that's more just a personal big achievement than team. But
there are so many things to go over. The defense. Justin Holl had an absolutely awful series. He was terrible, and he got taken out last night because of it. And actually, two defensemen went in. They ran 11-7 again, which I didn't like it at first, but I'm kind of realizing that just means they barely even used the seventh guy. Gustafsson did not. The only time he touched the ice is when they Stamkos scored. I'm pretty sure that's the only time I ever seen him on the ice. It was wild. But those six guys, Liljegren didn't have a great game. So let's go five guys: Luke Schenn, Jake McCabe, Mark Giordano, TJ Brody, and Morgan Rielly played the best hockey of his career in this series. He scored an overtime winner. He's just been so good. And you know what? He took a lot of flack this year. He was not very good in a lot of games. And with his pending contract that hasn't even kicked in yet, I believe it's 8 by 7.5. So Leaf fans were getting worried. I have absolutely no worries about that contract. If he can play like he's playing right now, like I just said, it's actually the best he's ever played. The most clutch. It's so incredible to see. Mitch Marner, what a series. Austin Matthews doing what you're supposed to do, scoring big goals. What a series. For the big five, if you want to include Morgan Rielly, led the Leafs in points. And who was in sixth? Ryan O'Reilly. It's just, and who led I know that fancy stats sometimes drive people nuts. Who led the team in X goals for? Luke Schenn. Another trade deadline acquisition. What a deadline for Kyle Dubas. Achari is fantastic. Jake McCabe is so good, and he's got 2 years left on his deal. That's insane. Luke Schenn was if we're talking about defense alone and not how fantastic Morgan Rielly was at moving the puck up the ice and his power play quarterbacking, but if we're talking about defense alone, Luke Schenn was one of the, if not the best Leafs defenseman in this series. And it's amazing. His X goals for was 64%, man. Luke Schenn! What? That is insane.
And we did talk about it today, that it wasn't that he had no ice time. He was playing with 17 minutes a night? Just under?
Yeah, just under 90 minutes, 89 minutes something in the entire series through 6 games. 1 goal against! 1! Do you know how incredible that is for a guy who people were saying shouldn't even play? I can't believe how good he was. I can't believe how good Matthew Nyes was. Let's talk about Matthew fucking Nyes. Oh my God, the play, he's part of the biggest goal in Leafs modern history. He made the wall play. Exactly what we brought him in to do was be a massive force in the offensive zone on the forecheck, win puck battles on the boards, and that's exactly what he did on that play, and he did it all series. I swear to God, if he comes out of the lineup, man, if it's not because of injury, I don't care if we win the cup. Keefe is out. That kid is absolutely electric, man. It's like a 19-year weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. I never want to hear another first round joke. I never want to hear another game 7 joke. It was 4-1. I don't give a fuck anymore. I am on cloud 9, and it's just, I don't even know what to say, man. Like it was just such an incredible series. All of the people that needed to step up, stepped up. Kyle Dubas gets to keep his job for sure now. He should have anyway, but for sure now. His trade deadline acquisitions were so good. Achari is so good. Oh my God, he's such a force out there. Such a physical force, and he makes good plays. He may not be the flashiest guy in the world, but oh my God, what an acquisition he was. Underrated, man. Ryan O'Reilly, like, the big goal to fucking tie it up to send it into overtime in game 3, I guess that was. Or was it game 4? I forget. They're kind of blending together. I was in Nashville all week too, so like, I don't really know what happened. I watched all the games, but I was physically there, you know what I mean, watching these games. But I was very drunk. We'll just say that. Very, very drunk. It's Nashville. If you've ever gone, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But to come home and to get to sit in my garage and watch that game with my dad was like one of the greatest ways to end this week for me. Like my week of vacation was like, that was just the cherry on top, man. I'm in like, I can't believe I've been able to sit down for the 14 minutes we've been recording this call. Like, I actually am on another level, man. Like, I'm wearing all my Leafs gear all day. I'm so proud of this hockey team for what they accomplished last night. I'm so happy for Keefe. I'm so happy for Dubas, Spezza, Shanny, all of those guys, man. This is just incredible. And we only won 1 round. The job is not finished. The job is nowhere near finished, but I think we as a fan base and as a team deserve to celebrate this one, man. We just slayed the dragon. In the past 3 years, that team went to 3 Stanley Cup finals, winning 2 of them, and we just beat them in the first round. Yes, it's the first round, but that's a fucking dragon. The Tampa Bay Lightning are a championship hockey team. It's that simple. Vasilevsky stood on his head last night, man. He truly did. He was fantastic. Samsonov. I didn't even talk about Samsonov, man. What a game. What a fucking game. For him to go out there and play like that and make some of the saves he did. The 1 goal that went in, what do you want him to do? That's William Nylander's guy. And we'll forget about that one because we won the game. That was a totally choke job on the defensive coverage by Nylander. But, man, Samsonov was so good. He made so many big saves. I'm just so happy for all of them. So happy for all of them that they did. It's just a weight off their shoulders. What a series. Great series. Great hockey. And all the respect in the world to Tampa and the handshake line, by the way. Hope they got a ton of respect. Never mind. I'm just like, oh my God. All right. That's what I got. You can unmute your mic, Catano.
Are we good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the second round, you don't know who you're playing yet.
No, we don't. And to be honest with you, I want to play Boston. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to slay another dragon. That's how I feel right now. But I don't care. Line them up and knock them down. That's all I have to say. I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's Matthew Tkachuk and the Panthers. I don't care if it's Bergeron, Marchand, Pastrnak and the. I don't care. Bring it on. Bring me anybody. Knock them down. That's what I have to say. That game goes tonight, Game 7. I can't wait to watch it. That was an electric game, by the way. I watched that falling asleep when I was driving home in East Lansing. We stayed in a hotel, and I threw that game on, and I was like, what is
chaos?
Like, is
chaos.
Allmark even in the net? Like, what's going on here? They leafed. The Bruins leafed. The Bruins leafed. That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, Edmonton won their series last night. So let's talk about that right now, because the streets of Edmonton look like the street. Can you imagine if that's the final we get? This country will shut down for the entire series. Like, there's just going to be so many people scattered around that, like, they're going to have to, like, hire people to come scrape people off the floor in both Edmonton and Toronto off the ground, like, so cars can drive.
My issue with that is that one of those cities will be burned to the ground at the end of that series. Because, like,
Edmonton.
like, you can't look me in the eyes, Abe, and say that the city of Toronto would not be burned to the ground if the Leafs lost the Stanley Cup final.
I think if they would have lost in the first round, you're probably right. And if they would have lost again this year in this round, you're probably right. But not that we're satisfied as fans with one round win, but I don't think that we would react that way. Not gonna. I think it would be like disappointment. Absolutely, losing a Stanley Cup final. You don't get to go to many of those, but I think it would be more of like a, all right, let's build on it kind of feeling. You know, like pick your balls up off the floor, go home, sulk, and then come back next year and win a Stanley Cup. That's I think what we would do as a fan. That's how I would feel. I'm just so proud of this team. I don't want to, for me, and I don't know if this is the general feeling. I don't think that we as a fan base want to represent the team like that.
True. But I mean, I never thought the Canucks fan base was capable of that either. But
that was insane though.
Yeah. Anyways, let's keep it in the East, because there's another Game 7 in the East tomorrow night between New York and New Jersey.
That's been an electric series. That's been a banger, absolute banger.
So yeah.
Was it not was it not road teams won the first 4 games in that series?
Yeah.
Unreal.
And then the home teams won games 5 and 6. And so they're heading back to New Jersey, I believe, for Game 7.
Yeah, yes, I believe you are correct. They are, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not going to lie to you. After the first 2 games in that series, I thought it was stick a fork in the Devils. I thought that was
sure.
And then they came back and won 2 in MSG. I was like, what is going on here? This is crazy. Banana lands, man. Anyway.
And so the winner of that series is playing Carolina, who beat the Islanders in 6.
Yeah. I thought that's how that was going to go. Or no, I didn't think that's how that was going to go. I thought that kind of the playoff style that the Islanders play was going to overwhelm an injured Carolina team that really didn't have very secure goaltending and still doesn't. But that's not how it worked out at all. So I was wrong. I'll admit it.
Yeah, I do believe I had Carolina going through, but
I think you did.
Yeah. And then, so let's shift back to the West here. We'll wrap it up with the Vegas Golden Knights beating the Winnipeg Jets, obviously. Jets got absolutely destroyed injury-wise, and were just...
They weren't very good either.
Yeah, no, they were bad. They were really bad. That whole, like, the Game 5 post-game presser was a fucking disaster.
Bonus, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of... probably shouldn't have said that.
No. I feel like you can say that in the room. You can't say that to the media.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think you're right on that. And I will say this, though. Blake Wheeler's a little bit of a baby. Like,
they all are. Just
come out and answer the question and don't fire back at your coach. He's your coach. So.
Yeah. everything from between the coaches and players that got said after that game should have been kept in the locker room. They can have that discussion all they want in the locker room.
Yes.
But
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that even coming out and calling him out for making a public statement, Blake Wheeler, I thought that was a really, really silly move on his part.
just firm it, keep that stuff behind closed doors. Because I mean, he was right when he called out Winnipeg's best players, saying that they were not anywhere near their best. Like, he wasn't wrong, but
one was Connor Hellebuck was a very, very good goaltender in that series. But other than that,
I don't know. You saw his post game comments. Sounds like he wants out.
Yeah, sounds like he's not going to be there much longer for sure. Yeah. I think he's got 1 year left.
I believe so.
So longest he'll be there is a year, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. They will be rebuilding in no time.
That's interesting. Hold on a second here.
Right.
That's interesting. Trade deadline next year. Connor Hellebuck. Can you imagine adding him?
So my thoughts is I think they blow it up this summer.
Yeah, you think they get rid of him this summer?
Well, so I think they're gonna not have to, but I think the blow up starts this summer because Dubois getting moved, whether it's Montreal or elsewhere. He's not sticking around. They got to get something for him before he goes as a free agent, so that'll be that. And then a lot of their core guys are just older. Wheeler's older, Scheifele's older. Hellebuck wants out if they're not going to compete. They basically need to rebuild their D-core around Josh Morrissey. So like, I don't like that situation. Looking at it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think they were battling for a first place position back in January, eh?
Yeah. So, but I mean, like Bonin said, there was no pushback. They once they were kind of out of that fight, they were out of that fight.
Yeah, and they never didn't seem like they were trying very hard to get back into the fight. That's, I think, what the coach was so upset about. That's it for the East. We did all four.
So we did the East. We just have the last two in the West right now. I was gonna go, speaking of goalies, Jake Ottinger in Dallas. Yeah. Found another level, and that's scary.
Yeah, Jake Ottinger, who really had a breakout, was it last year in the playoffs, was kind of his breakout performance. He's a gamer. That kid knows when to turn up the Jets, and he looks elite right now. He looks like he could really carry that team, maybe even to a final or a Western Conference final. We'll see what happens, but he looks good.
Yeah, so they will be facing the winner of the other Game 7 tonight between, honestly, a shocking Game 7, Colorado and Seattle. Did not expect this to go to 7.
Yeah, Seattle's been very good, and former Sioux Greyhounds scored that game winner for them, or tie, or maybe Ty Karchich. So
yes.
Shout out there.
His first NHL goal, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Unbelievable stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, I'm happy for another Sioux guy, Ron Francis, second year, turning it around, and you're taking the Stanley Cup champions to 7. That's awesome. You have a chance to beat them. You want to talk about slaying a dragon. That's a dragon in the West right there. And good for the Kraken. I'm happy to see it. Took them 2 years to have a chance to win a playoff round. We'll see if they can get it done tonight. And
absolutely.
If my math is correct, 2 is shorter than 19. So good for them. Congratulations.
All right. So for the Game 7s, what do you got for predictions? Let's start, because we're in the West. Colorado, Seattle. What do we got?
Well, I believe I picked Colorado to win the series. Just
so has your mind changed? Yeah.
Seeing the pushback that Seattle's obviously provided here, it's a tough one, but I think I'm feeling just gut Seattle's going to take them out tonight.
I like that. I have this, to me, this game has like triple OT written all over it.
Yeah, like that's kind of where I'm feeling too. 100% it does.
But I'm going to go with Arturi Lehkonen doing what he does and scoring overtime winners in playoffs, and the Colorado Avalanche will go through.
Hell of a shout.
So let's go with the early, the 6:30 puck drop. The Boston Bruins and Florida Panthers. What do we got?
Well, I want the Bruins to win because I think if we go into the second round and we beat the Bruins, it's fucking over for everybody, to be completely honest with you. If we beat that Bruins team, this team is going to ride that high right to a cup. So I want the Bruins. And another reason I want the Bruins is because the Panthers have really scared me, man, in this playoff series. Like, come on. And honestly, one of my biggest things is I don't want to face Matthew Tkachuk. I want nothing to do with it. Like, even more than I want nothing to do with Brad Marchand, I want nothing to do with Matthew Tkachuk. He is such a gamer. Like, I would absolutely love having that guy on my team as a head coach, because if you need a goal, a big goal in a clutch situation, you just say, Matthew, go out there. And what does Matthew do? He scores the goal. Like, it's unreal how clutch that guy can be. And his coach was giving him flowers for it. Paul Maurice was giving him his flowers after that game. Unreal. And he's done it like 3 times in the series, man, where he's just come out of nowhere, just lurking in the weeds, and he comes out and scores a massive goal for his team.
Yeah, he's on 10 points through 6 games. Like,
that's pretty intense, man. That's elite player numbers right there is what that is. And we all know how much of a pest he is and how important that can become in the playoffs when you can piss guys off and make them take stupid penalties. That's a huge asset. And yeah, I don't want him. I want the Bruins, but I think the Panthers are going to win tonight. I really do. I'm taking both upsets. Should I cook up a parlay with both upsets on it?
Absolutely.
Gamble responsibly.
Yes. For the sake of my bracket, I'm going to go with the Boston Bruins because I have them winning it all. So
hard to bet against them, but it's crazy to see this Cats team take them to 7, man. Crazy.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Last prediction for, I believe it's tomorrow night's Game 7, Devils Rangers in New Jersey. I have nothing. This could go a billion ways.
It could. It's in Jersey. You know what? I'm gonna stick with my prediction, and I'm gonna go with the New Jersey Devils.
I'm also going with my prediction and going with the New Jersey Devils. And again, this one has like triple overtime written all over it.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a game tomorrow night. I can't wait. Cannot wait. Want to know what else I can't wait to do tomorrow night?
What?
Not watch the Leafs play a Game 7. Because it's over. They did it. They won a series, dude. I never have to hear you say that again.
Well, now bro, it's you won 1 round.
Yeah, we did. We did. Absolutely, we did. And I'm gonna be insufferable. I'm gonna be insufferable for as long as this playoff run goes, and even afterwards, I'm still going to be insufferable. And that's
depending on the fashion in which they go out, will definitely affect your insufferableness.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, if they get swept in the second round, that's not gonna contribute very well to my insufferableness. That's for sure.
So now we've talked all the series. Is there anything else you specifically want to talk about, or are we just gonna bullshit for a bit, or what are we at?
Well, nothing specific, but I think there's been an underlying theme here throughout the entire playoffs, something that we should speak about. We spoke about it on Leg throughout the regular season. The officiating's been absolutely awful again.
I'm glad you went here, because we have to talk Andrew Cogliano.
Yeah, he literally has a fractured neck from getting boarded by Jordan Eberle, and Jordan Eberle only got a 2-minute penalty for boarding and no suspension.
Yeah.
What is going on?
And that is one of the worst hits you'll see. Like, it's just on the numbers, guys in a dangerous position. Like, how that's not an instant 5 in a game. Like, in a heartbeat. Like, there's no other call that can be made there.
No, and honestly, Cogs is a warrior, man. He came back in that game with a fractured neck. What? Doesn't that, kill you?
Like, it's just...
doesn't that, paralyze you?
It could.
You played a hockey game.
Oh, I know. And the guy who did it, nothing. And, I know Jordan Eberle is not, a dirty player. We know that. But still, that was absolutely horrific.
Yes, not the best. Not the best. And yeah, it's not only that though. Like I'll admit it. Last night, Hagel got high stick by TJ Brody. No call. Right at the beginning of overtime or beginning of the or end of the third or beginning of overtime, I forget. But
Yeah, it's
I
just
I
not
can't
good.
believe that happened last night, man. I cannot believe. I'm sorry. I know we're talking about officiating, but like I might start crying again, dude.
Do you want me to just mute again and you can go again?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Man, what a feeling. What a feeling. It's just such a foreign thing for us Leaf fans. You know what I mean? Like we just haven't experienced this. Like I was 5. Yeah, I hadn't turned 6 yet. I was 5 the last time the Leafs won a playoff series. I'm 24 years old, man. Like I didn't even know what I was like. I didn't even know what it meant when I was 5.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to officiating. Sorry, I needed a little moment there. Back to officiating. Yeah, and there, like, I can't even think of a specific egregious miscall, but there have been several egregious miscalls.
In the Florida Boston series, have you seen the clip of the ref telling Radko Gudas to not sit on people because they are, in quotes, not furniture?
No, I did not.
So one of the refs is mic'd up and he's telling Gudas that. Do you think Gudas would get like a call for anything in that series?
Interference,
Nothing.
holding.
Roughing, cross checking, boarding.
Yeah, he's
Nothing.
just no. He's Radko Gudas is one of the slimiest guys in the league, and he plays on the same team as the slimiest guy in the league, who is Matthew Tkachuk.
See, but the thing is, Matthew Tkachuk's actually good at hockey, which makes it kind of acceptable. It's the Brad Marchand, you know.
Yeah, yeah, he's a guy you want on your hockey team. That is for sure. But yeah, no, Matthew Tkachuk's a superstar, man.
Oh,
Um,
legit.
yeah, but yeah, that's one I can think of. Matthew Knies getting high sticked at the end of Game 5 was absolutely egregious, and we were within one goal. The power play would have been a real big help to that, and we wouldn't have even had to play last night. But yeah, there was a few. The bunt. I'm still not over Bunting getting 3 games. That was insane. I think that it ended up being a favor for the Leafs because he actually ended up sitting out a fourth. But
Yeah. And again, I look at the Cogliano, the Amberley on Cogliano. I look at Makar on, I forget who it was.
yeah, Makar on Hartman. Was it Hartman?
I think it was Hartman. And like I'm looking at that, and like I said when like I think it was last week, right? When we talked Bunting suspension. Like
Yep.
I don't hate the suspension for that hit. It was a very bad hit. But
Yeah,
you can't then follow that up by not suspending guys for fucking worse hits.
yeah, exactly. Like that's the crazy part, right? And I think that's what frustrates people about the Department of Player Safety is they literally do not give a fuck about the players' safety, like at all. They just don't. There's a guy with a fractured neck, and they didn't even suspend the guy who caused it in a
Like
dirty play.
not even a fucking fine, nothing. Not
Like
even
just
like oh, we're gonna review it, nothing.
no, terrible, absolutely terrible. And yeah, you hate to see series get affected by refs who want to make it all about themselves, man. And that's what it seems to be. Like Wes
Wes
McCauley,
McCauley.
I'm so done with that guy. Like, and I'm not going to get into detail about his relationship with Sheldon Keefe and what that entails. I'd encourage you to look it up. A little bit of a trigger warning, but if you can handle that, look it up and see, and then try to tell me that Wes McCauley should be allowed to referee Leafs games. Like, what? What?
Oh man, my whole issue with Wes McCauley, like we'll put that on the back burner because I mean that's a massive
No,
thing that
it's a
we
can of
can
worms.
like,
And
yeah.
yeah, like I said, I'm not going to talk about it here, but
Yeah, no, that his whole fucking bullshit started with that one clip of him doing the 5 for fighting thing at like MSG. And
yeah.
literally since that moment, his ego went through the fucking roof. And he's like,
Yeah.
I'm the star of the show.
Yeah,
The
he
referee
thinks
should
he's the
never be
guy.
the star of the show.
No,
Ever.
no. We shouldn't even know your name, man. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, no. People come here to watch hockey players. People tune into TV to watch hockey players, not you, Stripes. Like, seriously, man.
Like here's the thing. How many linesmen in the NHL can you name, Ave?
Not a single one.
Exactly. And
That's
the thing
how it
is,
should.
yeah, exactly. They do their job totally fine. Like they might make the odd mistake here and there, but whatever. The game's fast. No issues with linesmen. Refs, another story.
No, it's ridiculous. It's terrible. But you know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And Tampa fans are going to want to complain. Like I said, all the respect in the world to Tampa. They're a 3-time Stanley Cup final attending team, and like I
In a
said,
row.
in a row.
In a
and
row.
They won 2 of them.
Yeah.
In a row. Like they're the epitome of a championship hockey team, right?
Yeah.
But we deserve that non-call on Brody. We deserve the non-call on Kerfoot last night because we've been screwed so many times. The whole interference from last year, the high stick on Kerfoot from last year, neither were called. Those got called. We're talking about series changing because that series was this close last year. This close. Actually, they literally pulled a goal off the board because of the whole interference. So they won by 1 goal in game 7. So changes the whole series. We deserve what happened last night. So I don't want to hear it from Tampa fans. Also, another thing I wanted to point out. I predicted this series perfectly. Exactly perfectly. Said we were going to lose game. Maybe I said we'd win game 1, lose game 2. Maybe that's the only thing I got wrong. But I said we were going to win both in Tampa, come home and lose, and then go win a third in Tampa. And you were like, really? You're gonna go? You think the Leafs are gonna win 3 games in Tampa? And I said, yep, I do. And that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. Leafs in 6. Oh man, I'm still considering like I'm gonna screw my flag to a hockey stick and I'm running down Queen Street. Like I feel so good. I just especially like I said, I went on a vacation and then to end it like that was just the things that dreams are made of, man. Like feel the dreams, baby.
Can
Field
I just throw
dreams.
something your way?
Sure.
So, as someone who's kind of been in this position before, the highs of winning in playoffs, because I want you to prepare yourself because this ends 2 ways for you. It's either the greatest fucking feeling in your life or the absolute fucking worst.
Yes, I know.
Like you are absolutely in for it now. Like there's no like fuck, all right, Like
it's gonna be a wild ride. It's gonna be a wild ride. But I truly, truly believe that the floodgates have opened. Winning that series has unlocked an absolute monster. And I think they're gonna play like there's gonna be no more nervousness, no more timidness. They're gonna be aggressive, and I think they're going all the way. I've picked them to win the Stanley Cup every year, but like they're winning the Stanley Cup. Especially if we get Boston and we beat Boston, don't even need to play the next 2 rounds because we're gonna win. Simple as that. Get in our way, you will get absolutely eviscerated. That's how I feel right now. After 1 round. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say, man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I don't even know what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna watch this Jays game and just sulk in a smile. Sink into my smile. Like it's just I don't know what to tell you, man. The best. Well, let's go, baby. You got anything else to say?
I was just double checking my notes. I got really nothing else. The only thing, like, if you wanted to talk about how fucked Tampa is now.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah, they don't pick until like the 6th round this year. They have no firsts for the next like 4 years.
Yeah, Tanner Jeannot. What that might be the worst trade in NHL history.
Here's the thing, If before we go into the specifics of the trades, would you trade the next 4 or 5 years with the first round picks, bunch of second and thirds for 4 final appearances, 3 in a row, 2 cups? Absolutely, you would.
Yep.
So I don't want to make this seem like we're ripping Tampa's business, but it's just that this, and it's the cycle. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
You can only win for so long.
Yeah. And look at, do you know what? One team I will say, like, that kind of went dynasty was LA, and they've been able to kind of hang around here, eh? Like, they have a lot of the same core, and that's
Not
2 years.
Really?
Well, I'm just talking Anze Kopitar, Drew Doughty, really, is what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah, I look, and phenomenal players. I wouldn't say 2 players as a core.
You got, well, yeah, it's a small nucleus, but it's a nucleus. Those are their 2 leaders. We know that. And yeah, that's 2 straight playoff series losses to McDavid. So that's huge. But yeah, no, Tampa is probably going to look like Chicago in about 4 years, I would guess.
Well, yeah, I was going to say like Pittsburgh or Washington, but yeah, same thing.
Well,
because I think they'll still, like, Kucherov, Stamkos, Point, Hedman, like, they're still going to have the pieces to be competitive for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
But I just don't think they have the resources anymore to bring in difference makers.
No, and it was a reach this year with Jeannot. Like, it really was. Yeah. So now that he's gone, and now that they're gone, now that we've taken Tampa out, I can say that might be the worst trade in NHL history. He can't come back to bite in the ass anymore. And no, I know Tampa's made a lot of good moves over the years, but that was a dumbass decision by Julien BriseBois. Dumbass decision, man.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of worse ones, and the only one I can think is Gomez for McDonough, Habs and Rangers. That was awful.
Yeah, that's a bad trade.
But like, other than that, like, there's not many that come to mind there that are that level of just atrocious.
Yeah, no, unreal. By the way, the Jays have turned this around. They were down 4-0. They're 6-4 now.
Good for them.
Yep, that's good stuff. That's great stuff. I need to eat something, so I'm going to go do that right now.
Yep.
Thank you for letting me go off today, Gaetano. I'm.
So the runway is yours. If you want to close this out, I'll happily I'll happily mute my mic and let you close this out.
Okay, sounds good. So let me give Leafs Nation a little bit of an address here. I know that this is one of the greatest feelings that you have ever felt. I know. I felt it last night. I can post the video of my celebration if you'd like. My girlfriend recorded the entire thing. So
I'm gonna edit it in here.
Okay. Yeah.
We fucking did it! Are you kidding me? Are you serious? We fucking did it! Are you kidding me? Are you fucking serious right now? Let's go! Come on, Scott, come here, man! I'm sorry if you're hurt, I forget, but this is the best moment of my life! Oh my god! Michaela, come here, we fucking did it! We fucking did it! We fucking did it! Oh my god! We fucking did it! We slayed the fucking dragon, baby! Bring me Florida! Bring me Florida!
Absolutely. And just know that the job is not finished. That is 4 of a required 16 wins needed to win a Stanley Cup. You're allowed to enjoy this. You are absolutely allowed to enjoy this. This is 19 years of pain and loss and suffering that has been wiped away. It has been a 19-year weight lifted from your shoulders. But the job is not finished. Enjoy it. Have an ice cold Bud Light, shot of whiskey, whatever floats your goat. But get ready for the next round. Bring on whoever. It doesn't matter. I know some of you want Florida because you see them as an easier opponent. Some of you want Boston so you can slay the dragon. I want Boston too, but I really don't give a shit. I don't care. I just want to play in that second round, and I want to give them hell. And that's how we should all feel. And like I said, remember, the job is not finished. 12 more wins, baby. Let's go. Let's go. episode 94. Thank you for listening. Thank you to the Game Entertainment and Media for hosting us on all of their platforms. Check us out on socials. They're right down here below. I'm going to post some funny shit for my celebration last night, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. Give us a follow on Facebook, or not Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know the drill. Thanks for listening. See you for episode 95 next week.